So hey, awesome ones, do you ever look in the mirror and kind of say, I'm looking old? Well, I do too, and what I wanted to do is find some ways that I could sort of boost my confidence and really kind of look more youthful. Now, I'm not saying that I want to look like I'm in my 20s again. I'm not saying that. I just want to look a little less tired and kind of boost my self-esteem. So I say let's go for it. And let's start with tip number 1. And I'm going to be working on my eyes. And to do this, I'm going to have to take off all my eye makeup. So I take off my makeup for you. All right, so anyway, let's start with tip number 1. And if your eyes are looking tired, chances are you're probably looking a little older as well. So I don't use this every day, but you know, for special occasions like being on camera, I use Visine, and it really does help to brighten up your eyes a little bit. So I'll just put like 1 drop into my eye, and also for the sake of time, I'm just going to do 1 eye for this makeup, but here we go. And it feels nice. And what I'm going to do, as soon as this kind of waters away a little bit, I'm going to show you tip number 2 and 3 to kind of liven up your eyes and make them look more youthful. Now, tip number 2 is to use some concealer. I really like this concealer by NYX, or they call it NYX, and my color is beige. Now, I use a concealer brush just like this, and I just sort of put a little bit on my hand here, and then I'm just going to, a little dab will do ya, right? I'm just going to put this underneath my eyes here. Now, if you're anything like me, you still have, this purpley part in here and maybe a few little lines that you need a little bit more work on. And for that, I've got Bye Bye Under Eye. This is by It Cosmetics. It's fantastic. And my color is light for this. I'm just going to use a brush like this. And honestly, just the tiniest amount of this, that's about all that I use. And I'm just going to put it in the brush here, just a little bit like this. And then I'm going to go sort of inside the purpley parts of my eyes just to brighten it up a little bit. There we go. You can sort of see the difference in the 2 sides. And then also I need a little bit here, because that's going to reflect the light, and those lines that are under my eyes, they won't look as bad. And you can really kind of see the difference between the 2 sides now. I look more awake and a little more youthful. And talk about hiding our real age. If you have age spots on your face, or I have them on my hands here, this Bye Bye Under Eye, watch this here. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Can you see it there? Watch how that literally hides my age there. Age spot, gone. Now that's helping, but we can do a lot more for our eyes. And by the way, in just a minute, I'm going to get to some fashion tips for you. Oh, and if you're interested in some of the products that I'm featuring, they're going to be underneath the video description and also in the comments. All right, tips number 4 and 5 for the eyes. Let's go. Starting with the eyeliner. Now we want this eyeliner to be thin, and this comes in a 2-pack. It's from Le Pure, and it's the most incredible kind of eyeliner. First of all, I'm just going to put a thin line up here. I do not put it thick, and I do not put it under my eyes. When you do that, you're going to look a lot older. So, looking for my mirror here. All right, so steady as she goes. There we go. Now, I told you this was a little bit ingenious. On the other side, there's a little stamper here, and this will give me a wing. Now, if you have downturned, hooded eyes, those are very aging. I have them, but I want a little bit of a swoosh up here, so I'm going to use this little stamp. And there you go. Even with my hooded eyes, I have a little curl upwards. Now we need a little bit of eyeshadow to upturn my downturned eyes, and I'm using this palette from Urban Decay, and it's Naked 2, but it's a beautiful palette. There's all different kinds of colors here that can really be used on just about anybody. And first of all, I'm going to start with the brightest one here. It's called Shimmer, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it here. I'm going to use my brush here a bit. I'm just going to put it on my eyelid like this and just underneath the brow bone for just a little bit of a lift. And I'm also going to use a little brush like this and just kind of put it inside my eyes here, just to give it a little sparkle. All right, so now it's time to put on some eyeshadow, and I'm going to use a brush like this, and I'm going to use this color right here. And what is that one called? Oh, it's called Cover. All right, so we're going to use Cover here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go right along. There's actually a little bit of a crease here that you can see. And I'm just going to go just along like that. And you're going, that looks awful, but wait a second. Okay, now I'm going to use a brush like this, and I'm going to go into the darker brown here, and it's called Primer? What is it called again? Primal it's called. And I'm just going to go inside the actual crease right here, right there. And I'm going to swoosh it out a bit. Now, we got to do some blending. So I've got my blending brush like this, and let's go with blend, blending and swooshing outwards. And that is really going to lift our eyes down. Look at the difference between the two eyes. This one looks tired, really, and it does look older, where this one is getting a little bit of a swoosh. Now, I'm just going to put on my favorite mascara, which is CoverGirl Mascara Exhibitionist, and I'm just going to show the two pictures side by side of the before without the makeup and the after. So let's take a look. Putting on the mascara really brings a lift to the eyes, and notice how one side makes me look tired and older, while the other side has more of a lift to my eyes and actually to my whole frame of my face. It definitely helps me to look more youthful, and it took hardly any time at all. And now, for the sake of time, I'm not going to show all the rest of the makeup that I put on me, including this kind of youthful glow here that I have and the way I do my brows. However, if you are looking for some of my favorite makeup and even my skincare, you can find them at amazon.com/shop/awesomeover50. Just scroll down and you'll find my makeup and also my skincare sections. All right, so let's get into the second part of this video, and it's all about how we dress. Now, I know that in the past couple of years, we really got into a fashion rut. I know I did. I didn't even care if I was looking older in most cases. But today things are different. We want to get out with the old, and we want to get into a more refreshed you. Starting with the next tip. Let's change out that favorite blouse that was your go-to for business and office. It's time to kind of loosen that bow the same way men are loosening their ties. Let's find a blouse that gives a fun and youthful vibe, like this one from Amazon. It's about $27 and it comes in 4 colors. And notice how this red one just lights up my face compared to the drab colors in the other one. It also has a tummy hiding peplum design, so no worries about being too tight around the waist. So next, let's take a look at tips 7, 8, and 9, and it's going to be featuring that comfy, really slouchy type of look that a lot of us were wearing over the last 2 years. All right, let's check it out. It doesn't get more comfy or even dowdy looking than this, and it's easy to take this as an everyday look moving forward. But we don't want to do that. Tip number 7 is lose the sloppy jacket, and how about putting on a faux suede moto jacket? It's about $53, it's trendy, youthful, and best of all, it's stretchy. And now for the way too long jeans. Let's swap them out for a pair that are shorter and ankle length. Now, if you don't want to go out and buy a pair that are the trendy ankle length style, just hem up your old boyfriend jeans as I did, and they'll look great. And now those dirty canvas, what used to be white sneakers. Nope. Let's ditch these and swap them out for those new Keds leather sneakers. They've been around for a while and I've worn them almost everywhere. They go with about everything, including dresses, and they just wipe clean with a damp cloth. Now let's look at the two styles side by side. The one side makes me look dowdy, unkempt, and not at all youthful, while the other side gives me a fresh, new, trendy look. And all it took was swapping out the old jacket, hemming up my jeans, and putting on a white pair of sneakers. This gives me a whole new look that's also very budget friendly. And if you like videos like this, done by a woman who's maybe closer to your age and not a size 0, just subscribe. There's a button right down there someplace, and don't forget to click on the bell. So my next tip is all about your mindset. It's just when you look in the mirror, you don't look and say, I look old. You look in the mirror and you say, I look great today. And you know, often when you read my social posts, you'll hear me saying things like age with attitude, and I think that's what it's all about. And you know that us older gals, we're trending these days. You know, if you really notice a lot of the social posts and even the posters in the makeup counters, it's our age groups that's showing up everywhere. So instead of being a cliche, you know, of an older woman who's just given up and just feels like she's older, let's change things around a little bit. Let's set an example for the younger women of this world that aging can be something that you do with attitude, and we can still really, really rock this world. And you know what? It's just one more way to keep it awesome.